Yo, welcome to Wrestling Uncensored. Tonight on the show, we're recapping everything that happened on Smackdown. Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns have a confrontation. Hit Row makes their debut. Charlotte and Becky switch belts. And we're watching AEW Rampage right now. Orange Cassidy and Will Hobbs. I got Johnny North with me. We're ready to go. Let's go then. What up? What up, Johnny? What's happening?
Well, this match is okay. Not bad. Will Hobbs against Orange Cassidy. Not a bad match. I was a little, want to say just a little surprised. They said Will Hobbs, when he almost won it at the beginning of the match, we're like, oh, it's going to be quite an upset. I mean, when you look at it, it doesn't look like an upset if Will Hobbs wins. I mean, the size difference is ridiculous.
Booking-wise, though.
Yeah, but I mean, the whole match has just been a squash practically.
Yeah, Will Hobbs is whooping on Orange Cassidy, it seems like, right? But you figure Orange is going to win. This is a title eliminator tournament match, right? This is in the tournament.
Right,
the finals are pay-per-view in November. Full gear. The gear that is full. What's the, do we have, brackets?
I don't know. But I think, yeah, pretty sure they announced it last week, the brackets, not mistaken. We have this match. We have Bryan Danielson against Dustin. I think that's tomorrow on Dynamite.
Yeah.
And I think Archer against Kingston is also tomorrow on Dynamite.
Right. And Moxley is going to wrestle 10.
There you go. I knew it was like nobody important.
And the rumor is it's going to be Moxley and Bryan at the end of it.
Makes sense. I mean, when you look at it, does it not seem like that when you look at that? Like,
yeah. They're the two biggest stars in the tournament, and they're on opposite sides of the bracket. I mean, you figure it out, right? Orange just won with a roll-up.
So him against Moxley then, right?
Oh, they're showing us the bracket now. Yeah, I think it's Orange versus probably Moxley next. And then we'll see either Archer or Eddie Kingston against Bryan Danielson. I mean, Bryan Danielson's definitely beaten Dustin Rhodes. Bryan Danielson's definitely going to the finals. I think it'll be him and Moxley. You saw that, right? Where Tony Khan had like a pad of paper and it had the whole card for full gear. If you like zoomed in on the thing, you could see the whole card. And he seems to have circled Hangman Page in the match with Kenny Omega, and people were saying that means Hangman's going to win the belt. Would he do that? Seems a little sloppy if you're going to reveal your whole pay-per-view, but it seems like he did.
Yeah, but it also feels like I think he did that on purpose. I think he wanted people to know about it because pay-per-view is coming up kind of soon. It's going to be in a couple weeks. So I feel it was kind of intentional. And, yeah, Hangman to win the title. I mean, you're kind of predicting that. A lot of people are predicting that to maybe slant in that direction and then throw a bit of a curveball at the end. Wouldn't be surprised by that.
I don't know if Hangman wins the belt at Full Gear. A lot of people expect him to. Orange Cassidy just won. What would you rather see? I don't really care, Orange versus Moxley, like whatever. But the other side of the bracket, Bryan versus Eddie Kingston or Lance Archer?
I think I said I wanted him against Archer at one point, so I'd like to see that kind of match. I think it'd be different for him, have that kind of match. He hasn't really wrestled the bigger guys yet.
That'd be good. I think Bryan versus Archer would be the best move. What is this promo that's going on?
Well, you don't have to explain it because I can't hear it.
Pentagon and Alex Abrahantes are in the ring with the tag team titles, and it makes it seem like Penta and Abrahantes are the tag team champions. Where's Rey Fenix? And now here's FTR. They show up, and now they're beating up on Pentagon. Tully's there, too. They just toss Alex Abrahantes aside because he's not even a former wrestler, this guy. Their manager. So Tully could beat up this guy, no problem. But it's 2 FTRs against 1 Lucha brother. Did they take his oh no, they didn't take his mask off. That's Alex Abrahantes. Well, what's the deal? Where's Ray Phoenix? Maybe they explained it on commentary. I'm not listening to commentary. Maybe somebody on the chat can let me know. Give me a shout out. Shout out to Brian Firth, member of the team. There's FTR posing with the tag belts, and here comes Pac to make the save. Where's Ray Phoenix?
I wouldn't be surprised because he got beat, right? So maybe they're saying he had a concussion or something.
Oh, okay.
He got injured because he got hit with the title. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, there's
Trying to give you
that.
something here.
Yeah, that's what happened. That's what's happening right now on AEW Rampage. Before we get into SmackDown, John, did you see Crown Jewel? I did my post show there with my brother yesterday after Crown Jewel. Did you watch any of the thing yesterday?
Oh, not yet. He told me it was 4 hours long. I'm like, oof, that's a long commitment.
I know. Edge and Seth was really good.
Oh, there's things I'll definitely watch. I mean, that match. I want to see Goldberg. I want to see the main event.
Goldberg wasn't bad.
I didn't think he would be bad. I was looking forward to it.
Well, sometimes he's bad. You can't deny.
It can happen.
Even Goldberg fan number 1 over there, Johnny North, cannot deny that Goldberg sometimes is bad. You know?
Yeah, but I had a feeling this match would be pretty good. Not too surprising that it was good.
Yeah, it was all right. It was all right. I'd say better than their SummerSlam match. Bobby was beating up Goldberg quite a bit. It was pretty good. The women's triple threat was good, too. Becky, Sasha, Bianca was good. The main event was all right, but not the best. Brock Lesnar was back tonight. My goodness, we saw a lot of talking. We were like 45 minutes into the show before we saw the first wrestling match on SmackDown tonight. Drew McIntyre and Sami Zayn was the first actual match that we saw. Sorry, what?
Because you start with a promo, and then you go to commercial, and you still have the promo going. So, like, that was the problem with it. It was like 20 minutes, and then back to another promo, and then the whole thing that happened with Adam Pearce, like, that thing just went on and on and on.
It never ended. Roman Reigns is in the ring to start off SmackDown. He's cutting an in-ring promo. Paul Heyman is with him. Roman is kind of questioning Heyman as to why he didn't just throw him the belt at Crown Jewel. There was a point in the match where the ref was down. Heyman had the title belt, and he threw it between Brock and Roman. It didn't really seem like he was throwing it to either guy, kind of trying to play both sides there. And he said, oh, you know what to do with the belt. But he didn't say it to Roman or Brock. He just kind of said it to both guys. And Roman's like, what was that, Paul Heyman? Is it so hard to hand me the belt? And now he's like, hand me the belt now. And he gives him the belt, and Heyman looks all shook. I think we got a resolution on that story, though, at least at the pay-per-view, John. Like, it seems like Heyman is trying to play both sides. He's trying to be on Brock's side and on Roman's side. And he's, playing them both and going with the winner. Sleazy Heyman.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And he's with Roman. But Roman also realized that, he could have been played in a sense. So he kind of put Heyman down in a sense. And, he was kind of deserved in a sense as well.
Yeah.
But to me, that was the best. That was the best part of SmackDown, was really that whole opening segment. I know it kind of dragged out a bit, but really, when you think about everything else on the show, that was the best thing to watch. Was that whole Roman, Brock, that was the best thing on SmackDown tonight.
Was it?
Oh yeah, nothing else was really that good. I thought Mansoor and Ali had the best wrestling match.
Yeah,
that was about it.
Wasn't as good as their Crown Jewel match. And also, we just saw them wrestle at Crown Jewel, and it didn't have a karate guy at the end, so not as cool. I like when you have karate guys.
Well, I thought McIntyre, Sami Zayn was all right as well. That was fine, but it was just fine. That was it.
Yeah, nothing special. No special matches. I think you're right. as much as I didn't really like that whole Roman Reigns promo that took 25 minutes, I think you're right. It probably was the highlight of the show, which tells you how boring SmackDown really was tonight. Roman just going on and on about how he's the best of the best, the head of the table, the tribal chief. He goes through all his nicknames, the King of Kings, the Cerebral Assassin, the Measuring Stick, that damn good. It feels like Triple H, right? Like it's just, you're taking a Triple H promo, but you're just changing the words. It's a template that you're using. Triple H was great, came in the ring, talked about how great he was for 25 minutes. Took up a bunch of time, said nothing. Roman really said nothing. He's like, Brock Lesnar, you're afraid of me. Come out here, acknowledge me. Come out here and acknowledge me, Brock. You're afraid of me because I'm great. I'm the best. I'm the best Universal Champion ever. Which, all right. I'm the best wrestler. I'm Roman Reigns. He didn't say I'm the best wrestler, of course, because that's, not what he is.
He said best of the best.
Best of the best, yeah. But he just kind of went on and on about how great he was forever. Were you entertained by this? Like, I was kind of like, all right. He's just like, Brock Lesnar, come out here. And then Brock, doesn't show up. Eventually, Brock did show up and attacked Roman, clotheslined him out of the ring. They brawled around ringside. Brock smacked Roman with the steel steps and then tossed the steel steps into the ring, threw them far. And to me, that was the most impressive thing that he did. Not anything with Roman.
The camera getting smashed.
The camera getting smashed was, who cares? He smashed a camera on the corner. Brock bumped into a cameraman and decided to take it out on the camera and destroyed the camera on the ring post there. I don't know. I preferred Brock throwing the stairs because you could see other guys try to pick them up. It's not easy. And he just throws them 10, 15 feet. That was pretty impressive. I was impressed by that. Brock goes to put Roman through the announce table with the F5, but of course the Usos are there to run interference, be the sacrificial lambs. They jump Brock, stop him from doing the big move on Roman, but Brock is only stopped momentarily. The Usos take a beating from Brock Lesnar, and then Brock did the camera smashing thing. He was trying to smash it on Roman Reigns, but Roman dodged it. And then Adam Pearce and then, more refs and different guys come out, and Brock starts, pushing refs and stuff, right? He pushed a couple refs and agents, or producers, whatever they call them, right? Some guys. No, but then Adam Pearce came out, and he's like, send the jobbers! And, Reginald and Umberto and Angel Garza all come out. And it's like, in what world does Reginald stop Brock Lesnar from running amok? How inept is Adam Pearce as a general manager or whatever he is on SmackDown to think, we need to stop Brock Lesnar? I know. Let's get Angel Garza and Reginald out there to do it. I was like, what are you sending these guys out for? Don't you have bigger guys? Why don't you get Drew McIntyre to help you out? Why would you send these guys out there? Of course, Brock beats them up, tosses them aside. And then eventually Brock just kind of gives up beating up the jobbers. You notice there was other jobbers that Brock didn't beat up, one of the Viking Raiders was there. I think Cesaro. Drew Gulak. Was Cesaro there too? Brock didn't go after Cesaro. Sure he's like, whatever, I don't care about that. He went back in the ring and then posed with the Universal title. And then Roman just left. That was the best part of SmackDown?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was without question, in my opinion. It was really the most entertaining thing we saw tonight. I thought the Heyman Roman stuff was good. Really like that. And Brock just being around because, you kind of mentioned it. You don't know what Brock's going to do sometimes. It's that unpredictable factor that he brings. It makes it very entertaining.
He didn't do anything crazy. He doesn't do anything that crazy. The last time Brock Lesnar did something crazy that actually shocked me was when he elbowed Randy Orton in the head and made him bleed at SummerSlam 5 years ago. Chris Jericho was still in the company back then. I mean, this is years ago. When was the last time Brock Lesnar actually did something shocking? It's the same old shit with Brock Lesnar. I was not super impressed with that. I mean, you're saying it's the best thing on SmackDown? It probably was because SmackDown was a garbage show tonight. Talk about Hit Row and that fucking debacle. What the hell was that? What the hell? I mean, god damn, pal. But, you know.
We can talk about the new era. How bad the new
era
is
of
so far.
SmackDown. Get the fuck out of here. It's worse than the new era of NXT. What the hell is that? What are they doing? Grasping at straws right now to compete with the competition. It's fucking crazy. Just desperation. It reeks of desperation, everything that they're doing. And then, you know, Brock Lesnar gets indefinitely suspended by Adam Pearce. And then Brock comes back out and grabs Pearce. And I know you liked when Brock F5'd Adam Pearce and then did it again, and Adam Pearce's pants, like, broke. His pants totally ripped open, and then Brock kind of posed again. So I guess Brock is suspended, right? Which means we won't see him for a while. They might push this to Mania, to be honest. Like, it's... They got no other option. They got no ideas. We'll probably see Brock and Roman at Mania again, which... I don't know. It's maybe exciting to you, Johnny, but it's not to me. Seen it, been there, done that. Let's move on. Can we move on? Never move on in this company.
Well, I think it's going to be the Rumble because you also run the risk of the fact that there's really no true challengers now. Because, like, if he can get through Brock or Brock's the biggest challenge, you can't really go lower than Brock at this point. So... I think you have to Brock at the Rumble because there's really no other challengers you can look at would be like, yeah, Roman could lose here. Brock's the only guy right now that has a bit of danger added to it. Okay. Everyone else, they're not even close to Roman's level. Not even Drew McIntyre.
So you're saying Brock versus Roman when?
At the Rumble.
And then what happens? Like, what happens in that match, and what do you do for Mania?
I think you put an end to this. I think that's what you should do. I think Roman should win, move on, and then he'll face the winner of the Rumble.
Xavier Woods?
You can hope for that. I don't know if he got off to a good start tonight, but you know, I think winning King of the Ring is a good step in that direction. It's just he has to make sure he doesn't fall in the same kind of pitfalls that the other past King of the Rings recently. Booker T is a great example. Booker T was 2006, though. You look at the recent ones, they kind of did absolutely nothing.
We'll talk about Xavier Woods here in a minute, but I just want to talk about Roman Reigns and his kind of path to WrestleMania and what you do for him, because I'm kind of at a loss at this point. You say Roman versus the winner of the Rumble. Who is that? Is it Xavier Woods? Is it Drew McIntyre? Is it Sheamus? Is it the Top Dollar? Is it Ridge Holland? Like, who is it? Is it Happy Corbin? Is it Rick Boogs? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, I don't think it's anybody on SmackDown right now. I wouldn't be surprised they bring someone back or something. I mean, The Rock is the best choice, right? That's the match I think everyone wants to see.
2023.
So if they can get him sooner, that'd be better. Because, like, why wait another year? Like, that's a long, long title reign for Roman Reigns.
Because they have no choice, John. Like, he's not available, right? It's The Rock. He's busy.
Well, you got to do something with Roman Reigns in the meantime. Got to keep Roman occupied somehow. Like, honestly, like... And I'm kind of regretting saying this, but you might want to give it to Seth, actually.
Roman Seth?
Yeah.
Like have Seth win the Rumble and then, yeah, I don't know. This current Seth character doesn't really make sense going up against Roman Reigns, especially since he's been moved to Raw. I think it might be too early to do that, to be honest. Like, I would do that in like 3 years. After Roman beats Rock, the following Mania, 2024 Roman Seth. Or Roman
just thinking of guys,
MJF or, you know, whoever.
It's not a big list of guys that you believe could beat Roman at WrestleMania, but Seth's on that list. So there's very few guys right now in WWE that you can put him in a match at WrestleMania with Roman and people would actually be like, "Yeah, this could be very interesting." Seth's one of those guys.
Yeah, but like I said, I think it's too early. I don't think they're going to go there. I think, honestly, I thought that they were maybe going to go with Taker.
I think we needed to see Taker last night. You didn't see him. He did Pitbull, and that's it.
That was surprising. When I heard that Taker was in Saudi Arabia to introduce Pitbull, I said, well, there's no way he's in Saudi Arabia 2 days before this giant WWE show, and he's only in Saudi Arabia to do the introduction for Pitbull. It seems like that was the deal. Unless, like, he had a meeting with Vince and he came up with a plan to, come back while Vince was in Saudi Arabia. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think he realizes now at this point where it's like it's been too long now, and I think he's happy with the way things ended. So it's probably better just to let things rest the way it is. Rest in peace.
I don't
Taker.
agree. I don't think he's happy with the way it is. I don't think that guy can let it go. I don't think that he wants to end his career with a cinematic match. I think that he wants to end his career in front of a packed stadium with like 60 to 70,000 people at least in there at a WrestleMania in a big-time match and maybe go out losing. And I think that he feels that he owes Roman a good WrestleMania match because it was even accepted in that Last Ride documentary that their WrestleMania match was not good. Taker was not happy with the product. He was not fully healthy going into the match. A few years off, the surgeries that he needs, the rehab, the preparation. It's not out of the realm of possibility that they bring back Undertaker for WrestleMania for Roman Reigns because at this point they really have not much left, and I could see Taker wanting it. I could see him wanting it. I hope they don't do it, though. I thought they were going to do it, though.
Well,
when Taker was in Saudi Arabia, I'm like, what's he there for?
and they will be back in Saudi Arabia, I think, in February, or at least the early part of 2022. So it's not impossible. You could see Taker. It could very well happen, but I'd rather it not happen. Yet WrestleMania, I believe, is going to be in Texas next year, if I'm not mistaken, right? So, that definitely sparks a lot more rumors about Taker. But I think just an appearance. I don't think you need a match.
You know who's from Texas, John.
It's like Austin. We don't need Austin to wrestle. Just show up.
I mean, I wouldn't mind. Britt Baker just beat Anna Jay, and then she started beating her up after the match, and then Ty Conti made the save. That match was bad, right, John? I was looking at that match, and every time I looked, it looked bad.
Well, it's just, there's different levels here, right? Like, Anna Jay's not even close to Britt Baker's level.
Nope.
Like, I don't know why we really had this match. It just really felt like, well, just give Anna Jay a match, television. We want to get back going again. But really, like, she was just out of her depth in this one. But it's a learning experience, just to realize, this is where you're at.
Yeah. They're just running down the show for tomorrow. They got Eddie Kingston, Lance Archer, Bryan Danielson, Dustin Rhodes, Cody Rhodes versus Malachi Black, and Jungle Boy versus Brandon Cutler tomorrow on Dynamite in Orlando. Saturday
really don't
Dynamite.
try hard for those Saturday nights.
Oh, Bryan versus what's this? Anna Jay versus Jamie Hayter, The Bunny versus Red Velvet, Serena Deeb, Hikaru Shida. Man, they had a lot of these. Penelope Ford and Ruby Soho, Serena Deeb, Hikaru Shida, all going to be in round 1 of this TBS Championship tournament. All right. They just put out the brackets for that tournament, John. Went by so fast, couldn't even see all the participants. 12 women. 4 of them will get first-round buys. I think Thunder Rosa and 3 others. I don't know. getting some buys in this tournament. AEW's got a lot of tournaments going on. They have 2 tournaments going on at the same time. Very busy company. A lot going on.
I just saw the whole like Ty Conte holding the title, so maybe she's the next challenger for Britt Baker at the pay-per-view, possibly. Maybe that's why they gave the match with Andrade to help set that up, I guess.
I don't see her as a challenge. That's not a pay-per-view match. Ty Conti?
I mean, who else is there when you think about it? Because here's the problem.
Thunder
you put
Rosa.
everyone in this tournament. Yeah, but you put them all in the tournament. That's the problem. So then they're kind of busy.
Yeah.
So you can't use them. So I think this is what they're doing. Like, they don't really have anyone else.
Ty Conti's not in the tournament?
Soho is she?
I don't know. I don't think so. Yeah, Ruby Soho's in the tournament.
Either. So there you go. Like, they really don't have anybody else at this point. They have to use Ty.
All right. We'll see. Not the best women's title match there for Britt Baker for Full Gear, if that's what it is. But hey, what are you gonna do? Pac and Andrade is next. That's gonna be the main event here for Rampage. I guess. Yeah, we're coming towards the end of this show. Yeah. The main event of Smackdown tonight was a title exchange. Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, and Sonya Deville in the ring for a title switch because Becky is the SmackDown champion, but she's going to Raw, and Charlotte is the Raw champion, but she's going to SmackDown, so they had to do the switch, and that's what they did. They were both kind of apprehensive about giving up their belts. Eventually, they did it. Charlotte did suggest that they have a match, winner takes all. And then for some reason, Sasha Banks showed up and said, "Oh, Charlotte, you think it's all about you." Sasha Banks didn't want to see a unification match. She was like, "Nah, I'm going to show up here." And I didn't understand that. It was a weird moment. Right? Like, why is Sasha showing up? Is Sasha a heel? I feel like she's turning babyface here. Because SmackDown needs babyfaces.
Really? She comes off as the least likable of all the three. Like, they were cheering Becky, who's obviously the heel, but she was getting the most cheers.
Yeah.
Like, I felt they were cheering her over when Sasha was talking.
I think Becky was definitely the babyface in the segment, which was odd because she's supposed to be a heel, but I don't know.
Yeah, this wasn't great.
It was weird. It was frankly weird. Sasha Banks showed up, and she's like, yeah, I'm here, and this is my show, SmackDown, Charlotte. You're on the show, but you're new here, and this is my show. And then Becky's like, all right, I'm going to go to Raw now. I'll see one of you at Survivor Series. See ya. And then she just left. Like, what?
Yeah.
What do you mean? That's it? And then Charlotte's like, hey, Sasha, no one remembers when you were ever champion during your champion reigns. And it was really awkwardly put, you know? And Sasha was like, huh, what'd you say? And then she, like, punched her because that was time to punch her. And then they brawled a bit, and then Sasha hit a Meteora to stand tall and send Charlotte packing down the aisle. And then that was it. That was the show. Sasha stands tall, and the crowd is into it, I guess.
Sort of. Kind of.
Like when Becky was leaving, they were chanting Becky's name. Becky leaves, she's like, oh, I'm going to Raw, see ya. And then they chant Becky's name, and Sasha's like, whoa, this is my show. She was kind of acting heelish. Her and Charlotte, both Sasha and Charlotte were acting heelish, but I think Sasha's supposed to be a babyface. I think Becky's supposed to be a heel, but it wasn't working tonight.
Right. That's what made it awkward. It's just like there is no true babyface in this whole segment. They're all supposed to be, or they're all acting like heels, and Becky's trying to be a heel, but it doesn't work. And Charlotte's definitely a heel. Sasha, like you said, trying to be a babyface, but acting like a heel. So it comes off super awkward.
Yeah. And
to me, it's just like they didn't have anything else to this. Like they're like, well, we need something to end the show on a positive note. We can't just have them switch titles and just leave. Like there's no action there, so we'll have Sasha come out. But they really didn't plan this out very well because like her coming out, it just felt awkward and just like okay, she stands tall, but it's not really a happy thing because she wasn't really well liked.
It was bizarre. It was a bizarre segment, especially to close the show. Like, shouldn't Brock Lesnar have closed the show?
Oh yeah, definitely. But the problem is, I think they wanted to start the show. They want people to get into the show, right? And I can understand that where it's like you kind of want people to get into it, and then well we'll lose you. The show goes on, but at least we got you at first. You know, more than likely most people watch in the first hour than in the second hour. I think that's been proven.
I'm all for having Becky and Charlotte and Sasha as the main event. Like, they are the best, but the segment was just not a main event segment. It was like, all right, we're going to have two people switch belts because we drafted them to opposite brands, and they're the champions of the brand. So, our bad,
Yeah.
right? Like, it's just, it's awkward. It's a weird wrestling segment. It's like, are you signing a contract for a match? Is there something going to happen? No. We're just going to switch belts. Do you like each other? Nah. You're going to fight? Nah. Becky even was just like, all right, I'll see you at Raw. Maybe Survivor Series. You know, one of you guys will be champion. And see ya.
Well, I guess that could be positive in a sense. You are going to probably see Becky versus Charlotte at the next pay-per-view. That's not a bad thing.
Yeah. Or Becky versus Sasha. Which I think I would prefer.
Really? I mean, we've seen that recently.
Yeah, but it didn't get a good finish, did it? Wasn't there like a weird finish?
Yeah, the stupid like hair whip that didn't hit Becky, and yeah.
Yeah. I'd like to see them have like another real match. They haven't wrestled that much, Becky and Sasha. And I've seen Becky and Charlotte wrestle a million times. Have Charlotte drop the belt to Sasha before Survivor Series. That's what I would do, so we get Becky and Sasha.
Well, not impossible. I mean, Charlotte seems to lose the title quite quickly a lot of times, so could very well happen.
Yeah, why not?
Wait and see.
Charlotte picks up and drops those belts all the time. Speaking of Charlotte, her boyfriend's in the ring right now. Andrade El Idolo. And he's about to wrestle Pac. So that's cool. Should be a good match.
And I believe the stipulation of this is like there's no outside interference whatsoever. Like nobody from his like side, Andrade or Pac's side, can interfere.
Damn.
Like
Pac just hit a wicked German suplex on him. Like, that shit was nasty. And then he just did a beautiful dive. Pac is ridiculously good. God damn, he's talented. How you get that athletic? How's that work? Guy's
he's
in
been
some shape.
wrestling for years.
I know. And he's always in top
Training for
shape.
years.
I've never seen a guy in such shape. Crazy. He's got big legs. He's so wide. He's got such a wide back. Guy is gigantic. So jacked. The way he moves, man, is so impressive.
Well, not
I'm a big
only
fan.
that, it's just amazing cardio as well. Like, so fast.
A lot of that's got to be genetics, but a lot of it is whatever he's doing, hard work. Like, those legs are crazy, man. He's got such spring in his step. Yeah. You don't see him wrestle that often on TV, so then when you see him, you're like, jeez. He really is good, eh? He's really good. So Pac versus Andrade El Idolo going on right now on Rampage. Probably going to be the match of the night. Match of the night on Smackdown you thought was Mansoor and Mustafa. Did you see their match on Crown Jewel? Probably not, right?
Not yet, no. I'll probably watch it, though.
I think it was a little better. Mansoor got the win again here. Drew McIntyre cut an in-ring promo, issued an open challenge. Sami Zayn came out with new music. new music for Sami, so that's a good sign.
I
Although
missed it. Was it good?
yeah, it was all right. I didn't hate it. It was a decent little entrance for him. He says he's the longest tenured member of Smackdown, and Drew is just a newbie on the show. And then Drew beat Sami with the Claymore kick, got the pinfall. Another win for Drew. That was pretty obvious, but it was a fun ride. It was a good little match. It was pretty short, like, I don't know, maybe 5-ish minutes. You know? Didn't last too long, but it was good. Sami Zayn is good. Good little
I don't
finish.
know what else you'd expect in that kind of match. I mean,
No.
you kind of expect that to happen. Like,
Yeah.
at least it wasn't a complete squash. I think that's the only true positive if you're a Sami fan for that.
Yeah, that's it. Like, I think they did the most with what they were given. You know, they weren't given a ton of time. They did what they could. Drew wins because, you know, they're trying to build Drew to be a new star on SmackDown. Made sense to me. Just Sami, like, they don't seem to have any kind of plans for him.
Wait, something with Rey Mysterio, but that's kind of over now. So
Ray's on
yeah,
SmackDown.
it doesn't seem like he's
or
doing
Raw.
anything,
Yeah, he got moved, right?
So now that's it's kind of over now. So yeah, he doesn't have much going on now. So
Yeah.
just add to the speculation when his contract expires, people think he'll leave.
Yeah, people were saying him and Kevin Owens' contract is expiring. Possibly they're both expiring soon, and maybe they're going somewhere like AEW or, you know.
Well, I think Sami, I think it's in December or roughly
Wow.
there, and I think with Kevin it's in January. I think 30th of January, end of January.
Well, that's pretty soon. You think they'll leave?
Yes, but I don't know about Kevin though. I mean, you're making millions WWE. If they keep paying you millions, why leave?
I don't know. Maybe AEW would pay you millions too. And he's pretty good friends with Adam Cole and the Bucks.
Wow, they're gonna pay Kevin millions as well. Like, wow, they're handing out a lot of contracts then. Like, because they keep signing guys too. Like,
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what their budget is for Kevin Owens. Would they sign him to a multi-year, multi-million-dollar contract? I don't know. Would they offer him the same type of money that WWE would offer him? I don't know. Is the WWE offering him a lucrative deal? You know? Are they even offering that type of big money to Kevin Owens? I don't know. I don't know what the offers are on the table for him. You know, I'm not Kevin Owens. I'm not his business manager. What do I know about what they're offering? I don't know what AEW's bank is for Kevin Owens, what they want to spend on a guy like that, but I would assume that whatever money he would get from WWE, he could probably get from AEW. Whatever he's worth on the wrestling market as far as big companies is the same in either company. You know?
well, I think you really got to wait until see what happens on Raw, right? Because we haven't seen him yet on the new show. You imagine it's a 3-hour show. They'll find a spot for him. More than likely, they'll have the Kevin Owens show again. So just wait and see how he's used there. I think that might be a good indication. I wouldn't be surprised. Like, to me, you look at Raw. I mean, yeah, they added a lot of people, but I think you really need someone like Kevin to help be like that extra guy on the show besides like Big E. You need another you need another face, you need that, Big E's the number one face, but you need the number two face, and I think Kevin can be that guy.
He could be. I don't know if he will be, but we'll see what they do with Kevin Owens on Raw. On SmackDown, Sami Zayn is one of the heels getting beat by Drew McIntyre. Not a terrible spot for him tonight. Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, they did the coronation of Xavier Woods. Of course, Xavier is king of the ring. This is his boyhood dream, and he talked about that, and Kofi put the cloak on Woods, and the fans were chanting, "You deserve it." And it was a nice moment. Woods talked about being the king and how he's wanted to do it and everything. Kofi says, "All hail King Woods," and that was it. It was was all right. But it wasn't, not much to it.
Well, like you said, it was a good moment for him. It was great that he was appreciated. He was given that TV time. They let him talk. But it's like nothing he said was really anything noteworthy. It's like, yeah, I'm king, and something about opportunities, but I don't know what that means exactly. So I guess we'll wait and see. But it's a good step in the right direction for him because he needed a big singles win. He never had that, and if he's gonna be like a potential singles champion, this was a step in the right direction. Now he's got to fight through the whole fact that King of the Ring, last couple of years, nothing really great off that. Most guys, it actually has been a curse for them. So he's got to fight through that stigma in a sense.
I wonder how it goes for him. I don't know what they do with him.
They're going to give him time. They'll give him an opportunity. Like King of the Ring, like it gives you an opportunity. Like it gave Corbin an opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Like it didn't go well for him, but it kind of worked out by getting rid of the crown. I think it also worked out for Sheamus too, as well. Like when he was King Sheamus, it was terrible. He'd always lose. Well, once he ditched the crown, then everything was perfect. So might be the same thing for Woods.
I think it's just, like you say, it's a step in the right direction. It's a step in making him a legitimate singles star. He's a King of the Ring. What's next? So this will be a run as king, and we'll see. You think he goes mad, goes a little mad with power, maybe a little King Booker style, and turns heel as king? Because most guys that run with the king gimmick, that wear the crown as their gimmick, turn heel. It's not a babyface gimmick.
Well, it's rare that you ever see a babyface win King of the Ring. It seems like it's meant for a heel. The only thing about that, though, is that when you have a heel champion, it kind of makes more sense to be like the face king. And I think he can pull it off with his character. It's not a problem to do that. So, and it's a brand new show for him in a sense. A lot more competition, new competition for him. I don't think he really needs to turn heel. I think he's well established enough that it's better for him to actually to continue on what he's doing and seeing what he can make with this new character.
I think you're right. I don't think he needs to turn heel. I am interested to see what they do with him on this run. Oh, man. Pac just did a moonsault from the top rope to the outside on Andrade, and I don't know. I think his head may have, I don't know. I think he's all right. I don't know.
Let's remember, we haven't seen Pac since that ladder match where I thought he took a very nasty fall when Paige gave him that dead eye off the top of the ladder.
Have we not seen him wrestle since then? Since the pay-per-view?
Since then. Well, that wasn't the pay-per-view. That was Dynamite. But that
yeah. That was a crazy match. Doug Hepburn.
Weird idea.
Doug Hepburn with a super chat. He says, Johnny, weird idea. Grow a beard and be a Jesus character, only you're serious and bad. A bad Jesus. I know that there was a suicide Jesus that I saw there. He was all right. I don't know.
I wrestled that guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he's good.
He's a good guy.
I like that guy, Suicide Jesus.
Yeah, this is the thing, though, Doug. It's been done a lot in wrestling. The Jesus character, like someone trying to be like Jesus. This is actually a great segue into Dark Side of the Ring.
Yeah, right.
They had like a Messiah. Character. Yeah. And
that's exactly what I was thinking. Hold on, we're not doing Dark Side of the Ring yet. We're still doing Smackdown, John. Hold your horses, buddy.
Oh, the show's not over yet, Rampage.
Yeah, it's a good segue, though, to Dark Side of the Ring, John. You are right. Whatever happened? Messiah? Was it Judas Messiah?
That's a different Messiah.
Yeah, he's Puerto Rico Messiah.
Yeah, he was in TNA.
Yeah, that too, right? But wasn't he big in Puerto Rico? Judas Messiah?
pretty sure, but I didn't see that stuff. I only saw the TNA stuff.
The guy should sue Chris Jericho.
But, well, he didn't say, Judas. I think it was Judas Messiah, was it not? Like how it was pronounced?
Oh, was it Judas Messiah? I thought it was
Yeah.
Judas Messiah. Yeah, I remember that guy. Feuded with Abyss. Classic TNA talk for you. So after we had the King of the Ring thing, there was like a vignette for Zia Lee, who's coming to SmackDown, which is exciting, I guess, for some. And then there was a flood of introduction promos for people saying, hey, I'm a guy, and I'm going to be on SmackDown soon. First was Ridge Holland, and I was like, who the fuck is Ridge Holland? I don't like Ridge Holland. I don't know who he is, but I don't like him. I saw him for a minute, and I didn't like him. I was like, I don't know about you, Ridge Holland. Maybe he's fantastic, and I'll change my mind. But right now, after what I saw tonight, I don't like Ridge Holland. I don't like a guy whose name is Ridge. What kind of name is Ridge? What are you, a fucking ruffle?
NXT.
Get out of here, bro. What are you, Chips? Ridge?
So NXT names, I mean, it's very standard for the NXT name, I think. But him wrestling-wise, he's just very standard, big guy kind of thing. So I don't know if you like him too much, to be honest.
Looks like a shit Dexter Loomis.
I actually thought Val Venus at first, but...
Oh, he wishes. Val Venus is the best. And there's only one new Val Venus. His name is Veer Venus, and he's the best. Veer Venus!
Is he not on the show?
I don't know where he is.
I
don't know. I think that they did a lot of... They did very few matches tonight, because I'm pretty sure they're taping SmackDown for next week tonight, too. So they kind of took it easy on everybody, because it's a long night. It's a rough couple of days for the crew. Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia yesterday, fly back to Wichita, Kansas tonight to do a double taping of SmackDown. Not easy.
They had enhancement talent in the second hour. Like, clearly they've been letting it easy on people, I think.
Yeah, right?
I mean,
They
I can't remember the last time we saw that.
But that's good. Yeah, right? They had total jobber talent wrestling Hit Row, who came out and did their thing. I had no idea Ridge was a name. Ridge is a name? I'm going to call myself Ridge Ruffles. I'm going to be a fucking wrestler. I'm Ridge Ruffles. Let's come out with chips, do like a Bastion Booger gimmick, That'd be good. Aaliyah, you like that, John? Ridge Ruffles?
Well, I just think of the Bastion Booger thing. You'll fall in love with a girl like Luna, I guess.
Who wouldn't fall in love
away from...
with a girl like Luna? Is that what happened? Did Bastion Booger try to steal Luna from Bam Bam?
I think he tried. I don't think he was successful, but I remember that being a storyline.
Bastion Booger Bam Bam Bigelow. Aaliyah was there introducing herself after Ridge. It was Aaliyah, who's Canadian, so I like her. She's all right. They signed her when she was like 12, I think.
I
Not
believe
12.
18, but yes.
Yeah, she was pretty goddamn young. Right? Ridge. Oh, Ridgester. Oh, no, Aaliyah, sorry. Somebody's talking about Ridge on the chat. I'm like, was this Ridge? Was this Ridge talk? Maybe I like Ridge now. You know what? Forget it. I like Ridge. I'm now a Ridge fan. Yeah, what just happened? On
I just
Rampage.
saw like a brain
Oh,
buster
lights
off the
came
top.
out. I think the match ended. I think Pac won, but then the lights went out, and now Malachi Black is in the ring, and he sprays his green mist at Pac. What's the story here? Are Malachi and Andrade aligned? The Zelina Vega connection?
That's an interesting connection.
Harold Schneider dropping a super chat saying, didn't Johnny wear a mask in his last match? And you did. Yes, you did. El Contador. Or maybe that wasn't you, but I think it was. There's
rumors about this.
Yeah. Arn Anderson's coming out? Why is Arn Anderson coming out? Oh, because he doesn't like Malachi Black? What the fuck is this? I think Pac won, but I'm not really sure because the lights went out real quick and they didn't show replays or anything. So Malachi comes out, sprays Pac in the face with his green mist, kicks him, and then it looks like it's Andrade and Malachi teaming up. Arn Anderson comes out, does like a gun finger at Malachi, and then Cody Rhodes jumps Andrade and Malachi. Cody has bumped Andrade out of the ring, and now he's beating up Malachi Black. And they're going to have their rematch tomorrow night on Dynamite. Cody's revenge.
So you were right though. Pac won. It was like a roll up, and then right away the lights went out. So yeah, there was no replay. Yeah, it was very quick.
A lot of confusion. I like that Arn Anderson's gimmick now is he shoots people in the face. Arn Anderson will shoot you.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. He'll shoot you, he'll stab you, he'll punch you in the face. Arn Anderson is not afraid to kill a man in a variety of ways, and we respect that about him. I, for one, applaud him for being a murderous psychopath. We don't applaud the murderous psychopaths enough, I think. Everybody wants to get, say all sorts of negative things about murderous psychopaths, but, it's the murderous psychopaths that make us feel better about ourselves, right?
It seems like Arn Anderson, he's the only one who can do this, If it was somebody else, not so much. If Cody was trying this wouldn't work for Cody too well. Cody would be a huge heel. But Arn, huge pop.
I think if Cody started talking about shooting people in the face, people might enjoy it. I don't know. Why not? They love it when Arn Anderson does it. What's the problem?
There's something about Arn, for whatever reason. Like he can do that, and people are like, oh, that's awesome.
All right.
But when Cody does it, it's like it's the worst thing in the world. Cody has this heat about him for whatever reason, I guess. I think people resent Cody.
Why?
Why? I think the whole, you're there and then you're gone, that probably doesn't help. The fact that when he comes back, he's always promoting, a new show that he's on. The fact that he it feels like he's putting, it may not be true, but it feels like he's, forcing his wife to be on television with him. That probably isn't true, but it looks that way. That you have to have Brandy and Cody's there.
I think Brandy wants to be on TV.
Yeah, probably. But it feels like, well, if Cody's there, well, Brandy's got to be there too.
Brandy always wants to be on TV. She signed up for that Real Housewives of Atlanta show. Brandy's always trying to market herself as a reality TV person. That's not Cody forcing her to be on TV. I don't see it that way. I got no problem with Cody. I don't know why Cody's getting heat. I really don't. I don't get it. It's like, yeah, it's his thing now. He's on reality shows and he's, doing things outside of wrestling, but also wrestling, also a part of AEW. He's one of the founders of AEW. What? I guess all the AEW founders are heels now, except for Tony Khan. The Bucks, Kenny, Cody, all heels. Tony Khan, babyface.
Pretty much, yeah.
What? Back to Ridge. Always back to Ridge. Never forget about Ridge. Ridge did his introduction. Aaliyah does an introduction. And I'm like, all right, I don't know who you are. You're on SmackDown now? Who the fuck are you? All right, that's good. And then Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo are like, we're these guys, and we are, on SmackDown now. I'm like, I know, I've seen you before. I'm aware. And then Sheamus is like, hey, I'm Sheamus, and I'm on SmackDown. I'm like, I know who you are. You're Sheamus, man. How come they made Ridge and Sheamus do the same thing on SmackDown tonight? Doesn't make sense to me.
Well, the way they kind of sold this is just, if you've never watched WWE, you wouldn't know that these guys are in WWE. So this is like a whole new thing. It's a season premiere in a sense, right? So that's kind of the way they showcase this. It seems kind of weird, but this was the way they were doing it. It was like, oh, it's a brand new show, fresh start, kind of promo like that.
It was weird. Hit Row came out and did a whole elaborate promo that was interesting. I've never seen Hit Row before. I know that they were in NXT for a while doing this gimmick, and now they're up on SmackDown doing this gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah. I don't know. It was kind of cheesy. It's kind of like a cartoon of like a little rap group. Felt like Making the Band, you know? Didn't feel authentic. Felt, you remember Making the Band? Everybody remembers Making the Band if you're of a certain age. Puff Daddy's Making the Band, Dylon. Remember Dave Chappelle did that great sketch about Dylon, You remember.
Vaguely remember. That's a long time ago, by the way.
Yeah, I know. So. Puffy made them walk to Brooklyn to get cheesecake. Remember that? I don't remember that. Those that remember that part. Go get me some cheesecake. Sing the lyrics to Juicy. You don't know the lyrics to Juicy? You shouldn't be around in hip hop. Get the fuck out of here. You remember? Bad Boy. Can't stop, won't stop. Tremendous. Anyways, that's what this reminded me of. Fucking Making the Band. And it's just weird. It's like, oh, okay, I see what they're trying to do, but it doesn't come off as good, They're like, we're rappers and we're good at it. And I'm like, yeah, are you though? The girl's like, I'm a singer and I'm good at it. I'm like, yeah, all right. Can you wrestle though? Because your singing and your rapping is not so good. How is your wrestling? And then I saw them wrestle and I was like, oh, okay. So
I saw half of them wrestle.
Yeah, I saw a couple of them wrestle. The big one there, Top Dollar, and Swerve. Who's good? Swerve is good. The Top Dollar guy I didn't really see much from. Swerve is very good. He's a very talented wrestler. His promo with the group is kind of like, all right, yes. All right. I like Swerve, though. I think he's talented. And it was Top Dollar and Swerve versus two just straight-up jobbers. I don't know what their names were. I don't know who the fuck they were. They looked just jobberific. Straight from the 80s.
Yeah.
It was good.
Well, to be honest, in the 80s, they were in worse shape, to be honest. A bit heavier, but... And if anything, I thought the jobbers, at least... Like, to me, these seemed like too cartoonish, these characters. The way they were reacting and, like... It didn't seem like they were doing much of anything, to be honest. They were just like, well, go walk into this, walk into that. They really didn't do much of anything.
It was a strange bit of TV, the whole Hit Row experience tonight. I got to see more of them to get a real idea of who they are and what they can do. At this point, I don't know if they're heels or baby faces.
I think faces, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
What? But they're so, irritating, aren't they? They're annoying. Like, I like rap music, I'm big in, I like it. What they're doing is not that. That's not hip hop. It's a fucking... It's a caricature. It's ridiculous.
Right. No, you're completely right, but I think the way they're trying to push it is that these are good people and that you should like these people. So...
It's strange, the characters they try to make baby faces in this day and age. Like, they don't seem that likable. They seem more irritating than anything. Like Rick Boogs. He's just annoying. But he's positioned as a babyface. Like, when Pat McAfee jumps on the announce table and does air guitar to Rick Boogs guitaring for Shinsuke Nakamura, we're supposed to find that charming. You know that? Are you aware of that? We're supposed to like that. We're supposed to be like, oh, Pat McAfee's so cool. Oh, shit, what a guy. Oh, that guy. I'd love to have a beer with him. Get the fuck out of here. I don't want to drink beer and I don't want to hang out with Pat McAfee. What the fuck, man? I think we're supposed to like that. I would stone cold that beer right in his face. God damn, pal. What? What? Do they understand who they're trying to cater to? Because none of their characters that are supposed to be likable are actually likable. We're supposed to think that Pat McAfee doing air guitar in the fucking announce table is charming. What?
Well, I think it helps if you actually like Pat McAfee, which I know you don't like him since day one, so that doesn't help at all.
If he were likable, I'd like him.
Apparently, people like him a lot. A lot of people say he's the best commentator in WWE. I know you could strongly disagree with that.
Well, what do you think
about that?
What do you think?
I find he's different. He adds a different take to it. I actually find him and Mike Cole, they're better than Cole and Graves. No question about that. It's definitely an improvement. Now, there's some parts that he says that are irritating, and like, I'm not a big fan of how he overdoes things. But I think that's more WWE telling him, like, overhype everything. And I find that's where he loses me a bit, where he overdoes stuff. But, like, some points he says are fine.
I don't know. I don't like him. I don't find him funny or clever or
I see
insightful.
The irritating part. Where he overhypes everything, like, it does get irritating.
The Rick Boogs shit is like, God damn. And, like, are we supposed to like Rick Boogs? I think we are.
Of course.
Do you?
I don't hate him.
He makes me hate Nakamura.
Wow.
Like, I was rooting for
feel that way
Happy
about him.
Corbin tonight. I was like, yeah, fucking beat him. Who cares? Happy Corbin. Like, fuck, man. These are the characters WWE is trying to put on TV. It's Baron Corbin, who's now Happy Corbin. He wrestled Shinsuke Nakamura and won after Madcap Moss and Rick Boogs had a little thing outside the ring, and Nakamura was there kind of distracted, and then Corbin was able to hit his finisher off the distracted Nakamura. Madcap Moss and Rick Boogs. Ugh.
Sounds like a tag match coming up, player.
The worst tag match in the history of professional wrestling. Like, it may be the worst thing you ever see. Like, what the fuck? Although Rick Boogs is actually not terrible in the ring. Like, he's got some wrestling ability, I think. Riddick Moss is limited, as is Corbin. Nakamura is good, but fuck. Rick Boogs as a babyface character is puzzling to me. He just seems annoying. I don't see what anyone would like about him. And just Madcap Moss and Rick Boogs put together in one segment on SmackDown. Like, holy shit. They're bad enough. They make me forget about how terrible Corbin is.
Well, I find with Boogs, like, I think something he has going on good for him right now is the fact that he does the riffs that help give Nakamura a bit of like a comeback in a sense. I don't know if you noticed they kind of did that tonight a bit. I thought that really got the crowd into it quite a bit. They probably, in my opinion, that should have helped him win the match, but he wasn't booked to win, unfortunately. But that seemed to be the most over thing in the match was when he was playing the riffs.
The fans like that, you think? That was the most over thing in the match.
Without question.
The guitar playing outside the ring. That's what's getting over on SmackDown these days. They have rappers. They have guitar players. I don't know. SmackDown was fucking garbage tonight. Garbage.
I told you the best part was at the beginning of the show. And then it was just hang on the rest of the way.
I can try to stay awake the rest of the way. God damn, pal. It was
I
not
didn't
good.
feel that bad.
I mean, no, I was drinking coffee, so I managed to stay awake. It was a struggle. It was not fun. I didn't love SmackDown tonight. It's been better. Very few wrestling matches. We'll see what they do next week, but honestly, I'm not hoping for much. We've got Dynamite coming up tomorrow night, and then we'll be back to normal Dynamites when we'll do the post shows for Dynamite back on Wednesday night. So a short turnaround for AEW. They do a Dynamite on Saturday, and then right back on Wednesday. 4 days later, they're back doing another show, and this time it'll be in Boston. So AEW Dynamite coming up next Wednesday is going to be a big one for us. Of course, I'm on after every Raw and Dynamite on Wednesdays and SmackDown here with Johnny every Friday night. What else do we have coming up, John? Nothing?
Well, I guess Full Gear in a couple weeks.
Yeah, we'll do a post show for that. I'm going to do a UFC watch along coming up. UFC 267 next Saturday, October 30th, in the afternoon. It'll be an afternoon show. UFC 267
Wow.
in Abu Dhabi. Glover Teixeira and the champion, Jan Blachowicz, for the light heavyweight title in Abu Dhabi. So an afternoon pay-per-view. I think it'll be around 3 p.m. Eastern time, but stay tuned to the Ringside Report Network for more on that. We'll do the preview show on Thursday night with AJ and Freddie. You want to do Dark Side of the Ring before we wrap up the show? I want to give a shout-out, of course, to Harold Schneider and Doug Hepburn, dropping Super Chats tonight. Doug is the Super Chat leader. Shout-out to Doug. Shout-out to Harold. Shout-out to Brian Firth as well, supporting the Ringside Report Network. Appreciate you guys. What did you think of the latest Dark Side of the Ring? The X something? What was it? XPW?
XPW.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a nice trip down memory lane in a sense, because I remember when XPW tried to invade ECW, and that was my intro to XPW. It's just fun to kind of get the history lesson finished in a sense, because I never really knew about the ending of it. I knew XPW was around. They brought in some old ECW guys, and then suddenly it was gone because Rob Black did something terrible.
Did he?
Well, he went against the government. You don't do that.
Well, I don't know. He didn't. I mean, he went up against the government as far as his pornography that they deemed too lewd and just bad. And it did seem like he was kind of crossing some lines with his weird porno that he was making. So XPW was a pro wrestling promotion from this guy, Rob Black, who was a porno guy. He made pornos, and they were pretty extreme, like kind of violent pornos, some of them. And it was quite a tale. I didn't know anything about XPW. I was unaware of when they invaded ECW. I wasn't really paying attention to that kind of stuff, and I had no idea this ever existed. So for me, it was like a brand new story. It was interesting, man. It was weird. This guy Rob Black, he seemed to be into some shit. I mean, it definitely appeared as though the wrestler there, Messiah, who was like his champion, who seemed to only really wrestle for him and was kind of big there, which was another thing. Like all the wrestlers who appeared in this promotion, like the guy Messiah, the other guy Chaos who was interviewed, his uncle there, Supreme. I never heard of any of these guys. Were they only XPW guys? Who are these guys?
Yeah, I think just mainly XPW and in that local area kind of thing. That's pretty much it.
Never heard of these guys in my life. Anyway, so those guys, they were They were in this story, and then this Messiah guy winds up having sex with this Rob Black's wife, and that gets into all sorts of trouble, and Rob Black fires the guy, Messiah, and then allegedly, well, I mean, not allegedly, this guy Messiah was attacked in his home and had his thumb cut off by these goons that came to like beat him up and cut off his thumb. He managed to fight them off so they didn't cut off the other thumb. It was a pretty violent, crazy scene there in the dark side of the ring. And, you know, Messiah believes that it was Rob Black who sent these goons to come get him because Rob Black was kind of talking shit like he was going to do some stuff and he was kind of carrying himself like a gangster. It's a pretty wild tale. And he also ran a pro wrestling thing that was pretty extreme as well. You had New Jack in there. That's where the big scaffold match there was with, what's his name? Vic Grimes?
That's correct.
They were just doing all sorts of crazy death matches in the promotion. It was just, this guy Rob Black really liked taking things to the extreme in like every way. I thought the craziest part of it was at the end where they're like, yeah, he's like out of the wrestling business. He's not in the porn business. Last we heard, he's running a burger shop. He's got a family. He's got like a wife and kids. He's like normal. Rob's Burgers. What?
It's funny, eh? You didn't hear, apparently XPW is going to make a comeback. You didn't hear about that?
No? That was not in the documentary.
Yeah. Well, that was in the doc because they didn't talk to Rob Black. But apparently he's starting it up again, yeah.
Really?
Apparently they're going to make it available where you can watch all the past XPW events as well. I'm not sure where exactly this is going to happen, but apparently it's going to happen.
I don't believe that.
Oh, I believe they want it to happen. I definitely believe that. Will it happen is another question.
Yeah. Knowing what I know about this guy from the documentary, I don't believe shit that he says. But, you know, I'm down if he doesn't. I think it's interesting. Interesting part of wrestling history. Sure, some wild matches happen there. I mean, they got Terry Funk to wrestle there.
They had the Sandman. They had a lot of ECW guys.
I like that he hates Paul Heyman so much. I thought that was funny.
Well, it's just, you kind of understand, like, he wanted to do business with Heyman, and Heyman's like, well, I don't want to do business with you. I could just do my own thing.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it started, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then that incident Heat Wave happened, too, and that was kind of a big deal. That was a huge thing because they talked about it a little bit as well, about how, like, they cornered all the ring crew, whatever, and beat the crap out of them, like, all the wrestlers in ECW.
Yeah.
So then there's just a bunch of heat after that.
What was that? Like, what was your recollection of that? You remember this happening? I don't know this story.
Well, I watched the pay-per-view just like most people did, right? So I mean, you didn't see all that stuff that happened backstage. You just read that on the internet afterwards that apparently this happened where they cornered them, and then like apparently I think the wrestlers, like the XPW wrestlers, were just like taken outside, whatever, but like the ring crew guys were actually taken to a certain room, whatever, and they beat the crap out of them. So, but I mean, you kind of understood it in a sense. The way I looked at it back then was like, well, you kind of deserve it for what you did. You guys interrupted the show. You guys, apparently one of them hit Francine, or she accused them they had hit her or something, or touched her or something. So, you like, if you see it, Tommy Dreamer goes right after them. Like, he's supposed to wrestle just incredible, but it's like, screw that, because he saw what happened. So, I mean, given that possibly happened, like, I could understand why people were upset. You're going to ruin their pay-per-view, you know. Yeah, it's upsetting. You touch one of their people, yeah, it's upsetting. You're going to get some in the end.
This episode made me really wish they could get Paul Heyman on this series. The New Jack episode, a lot of these episodes, Heyman would be very good. Especially this one here, the XPW, just to get his thoughts on Rob Black and dealing with him. And because Rob Black was calling Heyman out by name and saying all this shit about him, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I wish Heyman would be on some of these Dark Side of the Rings. He's got insight.
Or it's too bad with the timing, but like Tommy Dreamer, because Tommy Dreamer had a lot of the backing of Paul Heyman back then, and he was like his second man back then. So even just incredible, just because like he had so much knowledge what was going in, and he also wrestled in XPW as well. So that would have been interesting to hear his take.
Yeah. Yeah.
Super chat. Super chat.
Thanks, Angelo, dropping a super chat. Angelo, super chat leader once again. Working Uber tonight. Have a good night, Angelo. Just stopping by, showing some love. Appreciate you, Angelo. Good man. Yeah, I mean, it was a fun episode. I enjoyed it. It was a fun little ride.
You learned something new.
Yeah, I did. I learned a lot. I didn't know much about XPW, so it was a fun story. I wish they'd interview Rob Black. I wish he was on the show so they could kind of get his story.
Can't understand why he wasn't, though.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's accused of sending goons to cut a man's thumb off, right? He's accused of a lot of wild shit, so I don't know. They couldn't get the wife?
I don't know what's going on with her. Like, I don't know if they were still together or not, or what's going on.
It seemed like they weren't still together, but she was a big part of the story. Like, she had sex with Messiah, and then, everything kind of went to shit. Would have been interesting to hear her take on the story. They had that one porn lady, and she didn't seem to have much insight on anything. She was just like, oh, yeah, I was around. Rob was weird. Right? Who was that girl? Like, I don't understand. She had, like, tattoos all on her neck and everything.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, a lot of the wrestlers there are, like, I heard of the names. But that's about it. I didn't really see them, and, like, I didn't really know much about them.
Yeah, the girl was like, she did porn, and she was a wrestler. And I was like, who are you? And then she was there, and she didn't have much to say. Harold Schneider dropping a super chat. Thank you, Harold. Harold is the new super chat leader of the night, taking over from Angelo. Thank you, Harold. Harold in the lead. Thank you, Harold.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know. She just didn't have much to say. The guy Chaos had a lot to say. He had a good story. I thought he was good. New Jack, to kind of tell the story of the ECW side and then going from ECW to XPW after ECW folded. That was good, hearing from New Jack. Of course, that was before he had passed away. Rest in peace, New Jack.
It's kind of eerie watching that in a sense. Like, he died. I'm like, wow. But they filmed that beforehand, so that's kind of nice.
Yeah. It was decent.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good episode. And that wasn't the last one, too. I believe we have, what is it, the steroid trial next.
Is that next? We're there. We're at the season finale here. Steroid trial.
Unless there's another one I'm forgetting, but I feel like it's steroid trial next.
I'll tell you in a second.
I feel like it's been a long season when you think about it. I know there's a bit of a pause in between everything, but this is without question the longest season they've had, and a lot of interesting topics covered. I thought a lot of anti-WWE topics covered without question. WWE took a serious hit with all these docs this year, I thought.
Yeah. It was rough on WWE, but I think, you can't really tell the story without making WWE look not so great in a lot of times. There's a lot of wrestling stories where WWE is the backdrop for a lot of these things that happen. This is by far the longest season, 14 episodes. Next week's episode is the final of this season. The first season was 6 episodes. Last season was 10. This is season 3, a 14-episode season. I wonder how many seasons they could really go on with. Like, I know they're going to do another one after this, but god damn, man. They've done a lot. I don't know what else there is to cover.
Well, I'm sure if you really search a lot, you could find
pick a dead
stories.
wrestler.
I mean, exactly. There you go. And there's more
Yeah.
things happening every year in a sense. I mean, you could do the plane ride from hell for Saudi Arabia. You know, you can just do a whole thing about that.
Maybe in 10 years, I don't know. You know, a dark side of the 90s on Vice, too? I started watching a bit of that. It's basically Dark Side of the Ring, but they take different things that happened in the 90s, and they do little documentaries on it. It's not good, but I've definitely seen a few of the episodes. One
I don't
on,
know if I've
like...
watched anything that's not good. Like,
Yeah, I mean, it's not great, but they've done that now. It's like Dark Side of the Ring has a spin-off, Dark Side of the 90s. I was not aware of that.
I think what a main thing to do is to catch up on Heels because you said that season's done now, so I'll watch all that. So that's something to do.
I liked it. It was pretty good. For a show about pro wrestling, it was pretty good. And I like pro wrestling.
We need more of them, so it's good.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. It was like, definitely not the best show I've seen. It's not Succession, but it's good. I'd recommend you watch Succession. It's very good. That's a good show. Like a proper good show. Heels is, all right, but Succession is like excellent, It's like Roman Reigns is good, but he's not Bret Hart. You know what I'm saying? Heels is kind of like the Roman Reigns of shows. Succession is like the Bret Hart of shows. True excellence.
I think it's just important for wrestling to have a show like that in television. It's hard to find good quality, like, wrestling shows.
Yes, I agree. And usually when Hollywood has a take on wrestling, it is not respectful of the wrestling business. And this show is at least respectful of wrestling. It may not be accurate, It may be a little over the top in many ways, but it's respectful of pro wrestling, which I think you need. Right? We've seen kind of wrestling get made fun of a lot in different TV shows and stuff over the years. This one doesn't mock wrestling, doesn't look down on pro wrestling while doing a wrestling story. So that's a plus. And that's it. Give us the old plus. Give us the old like, all right, on the video. If you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Give us the like. Smash the like. Click the bell to subscribe. Have you not subscribed? Click the bell. Get the notifications. And join the channel. Click join right beneath me. There's a join button if you're watching on the desktop. If you're not, open up a browser. Go to join.ringsidereport.net. And then your name will show up in green on the chat. Just like Harold Schneider, just like Angelo Contagonis, just like Doug Hepburn. Or you could go to donate.ringsidereport.net, just like Wally Byrne did, just like Brian Firth did. Many ways to support the show. You can support our sponsors. You can go to shop.ringsidereport.net. Buy some merch. You see me drinking out of these cups? I got my little coffee cup over here. Look at that. Boom. Wrestling Uncensored coffee cup. Go to shop.ringsidereport.net. Look at this. You can get a tumbler with the Fred's face on it. Look, that's Fred. It's Fred Garcia right there. It's AJ DeLesio. And look, it's me. It's my face. You can buy it. Shop.ringsidereport.net. Why wouldn't you want to buy that? I bought it, and it's my face. I mean, you don't have my face. You don't have to look at this every day. Once in a while, you might want a reminder. What's Dave look like? Oh, yeah. Put it away. That's what you do. You buy the cup, and you're like, oh, I forget what Dave looks like. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah. All right. Put it down. Wait a second. I forgot what AJ looks like. Oh yeah. There you're done. There you go. Merch. You see the thing? ringsidereport.net/shop. Is that it? I thought it was shop.ringsidereport.net. Did I give the wrong fucking thing?
I know the link kind of changes if you're on Twitter as well. It's not exactly the same.
I gave the wrong thing. ringsidereport.net/shop.
That's good to know.
Yeah, buy our stuff there. You can get deals on
What
all
says on
sorts
the
of
screen?
Yeah, you can get deals on all sorts of stuff, and you could also get the Ringside Report merch, the what cap, the T-shirt, the mug, everything available at ringsidereport.net/shop. All right? I think maybe, does that work too? You can go to merch.ringsidereport.net as well to get our merch. All right? That's it. I'm done. I'm going home. I'm done. Johnny, I'll see you again real soon, my friend. Wednesday night, right? For a Dynamite.
Back to normal.
All right. Harold Schneider, thank you. You are the Super Chat leader of the night. Thank you to Harold. Thank you to Angelo Contagonis. Thank you to Doug Hepburn tonight for supporting the channel. Appreciate you guys. And we'll see you again real soon. I'll be back here Monday night, 11 p.m. Eastern Time, after Raw.